How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be working on our Mark III Supra. So let's roll that intro and get into it.
Alright guys, it is a sad day here at MT Garage because we are selling the Supra. We don't know if it's a good decision or not, but we feel like at this point, it's been so long since we've done anything on this car that we're just going to get rid of it and use some of that income for the other cars, so the CRX and the Furious Civic, and just do some actual stuff and get rid of some crap on our yard. So we're going to, right now the car doesn't run, so we're going to try to troubleshoot that and do one last hurrah. And then if that works, then we will do some Bernies and then talk about the car a bit and kind of show you what we've done on the car in the last few years that we've owned it. All right, Matt, do you want to quickly explain to us a little bit about why we bought this car and how long we've had it?
Well, we've had the car for about 6-7 years.
I think so.
And the plan was to build it into a drift machine. And when we did buy the car, drifting was still a thing here where we live. Now not so much, because people were kind of irresponsible and got kicked out of the track that we were using for drifting. So now we have this Supra just kind of sitting that we can't really do anything with because there's no drift events happening. And it's always broken, right, Tim?
It is, yeah. If it's not one thing, it's another.
So we find that we're working on this thing more often than we're actually driving it. And we have a lot of other projects on the go that we need to fund. So I think selling this is probably the best decision right now. And then we can finally finish some of the other stuff that we're working on. So we got to do a bit of troubleshooting today. See if we can at least get this thing to fire up properly, and we'll see where that takes us.
All right, so pretty much what's happening with this car is when we try to start it, it feels like it's running maybe on 1 or 2 cylinders. Like it's running really terribly.
Sounds like a V-twin.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And it just won't stay running. And so there's probably something in the ignition, maybe the cam angle sensor. So we're going to open the hood up and just kind of check over all the wiring. So the car was running. We had it running last year, Matt. And then we noticed there was a gigantic fuel leak from one of the injectors. So we took the fuel rail out, which requires taking the intake manifold off. We had all the injectors cleaned and reflowed, tested, and rebuilt. And when we put them in, since then the car hasn't run properly. So it could have been something we did. Maybe we messed up some wiring, or we did something with the vacuum, maybe hooked it up wrong. But so we're going to go over all of that, check all the wiring and check the vacuum lines, make sure we did it all right, and then see if we can figure it out. So the first thing we noticed when looking at this wiring here is just look at the quality of this ignition wiring. It's just all cracked up. So maybe we're having some arcing. So we were taking that apart and noticed the ground for the ignition coils.
It kind of just broke right off.
Yeah, you touched it and it broke right off. So terrible ground. So Matt's going to rebuild that ground wire. Just put a new wire on there with new ends. And at the same time, we're going to take a look at this this wiring here for the ignition coils and just rebuild them. Because I mean, this wiring is in really, really bad shape. And we're just, yeah, not sure if that has anything to do with it, but I feel like it does.
It's a good place to start anyway,
yeah.
Right?
We'll rebuild that wiring and see if it works any better. So Matt, it looks like you've got the ground wire completed. Yeah. Brand new wire, new ends, new terminal rings. Nice.
Should work okay.
And I've just got this harness disconnected. So this has the wires that go to the 3 coil packs, I guess you would call them. Igniter packs, I'm not sure. So I'm going to pretty much see if I can rebuild this harness as well. And then once that's done, I think we're gonna try to fire it up. So here we have it. This is the completed
harness. It doesn't look great, and I ended up soldering. I was trying to use some crimp-on connectors, but that just wasn't working out for me, so ended up using solder, which isn't recommended, but in our case, it's going to be just fine. So I'll get this installed in the car. We'll get the battery in, and then we'll see what she does, see if she fires. All right, so here we got our new wiring. Got the 3 coil packs, whatever these are. This new harness, which goes from the igniter, I believe. Goes from the igniter to the coil packs. And then Matt's got this new ground on here, which just grounds right to down there. So that should be everything. I just got to get the spark plug wires back on, and then I think install the battery, and we should be good to try starting it.
So we got the battery installed, but Matt's pretty confident it's dead and it won't even try starting. But so we'll just boost it with the Sylvia. Will it crank? Nope, no crank. Time to boost. All right, here's our boost setup. Matt's gonna try, see what she does. Okay, it's cranking. Time for the liquid fire. Okay, there's a bit in there. Okay.
Same as it was doing before.
Yeah, sounds exactly the same. So running on maybe 1 cylinder. Yeah. So it wasn't our wiring. Well, that's disappointing.
That's why we're selling it, Tim.
Yeah. I was just hoping for one more burnout, but I guess that means it's just a good reason that we're selling it. So whatever. We tried. We gave ourselves a couple hours. If we couldn't have it fixed in that time, we were going to give up. So, well, because this thing doesn't start, we figured we'd just show you guys, instead of burnouts, we'll just show you kind of the few things that we've done on this car already. So, first of all, changed out the front wheels for some sick Mazda 3 wheels.
I thought they were Mazda 5.
Oh, could be.
Off of a van.
I can't remember anymore. Either way, they've been on there for a long time. We have stripped the interior, aside from these sweet seats, these Honda Accord floor mats, and the gauge cluster. Matt wrapped this steering wheel in hockey tape, which I think turned out really well.
That's terrible. I never should have used white.
Yeah, but it just looks sick. Sure, but it looks sick. We installed a water temp and boost gauge. Those do actually work, surprisingly. Other than that, that is about all we've done in the interior. We stripped all the motors out of these seats because they're all power seats. I think there was, what, 5 motors in the driver's seat?
Yeah, because it like went forward, back, up, down, tilt.
Lumbar too, I think.
Separate motors for everything.
Yeah, it's just, they were heavy, so.
They still weigh a ton.
They do.
Yeah, that's about all we could do.
Yep. I think that's all for the inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this pipe here, that doesn't normally come stock on these things. That's actually our exhaust. So we put a very short side exit here. You can see the exit right there in the passenger fender. So let's show them under the hood.
Yeah, I guess so, hey?
No, you don't pop the hood from inside.
Oh, this is full custom.
Yeah, this is the way to do it. Boom, so easy. Matt's even installed a custom hood rod. It's probably out of a Honda.
Oh, definitely out of a Honda.
think this is about the same time that we had the Accords. This is probably an Accord rod. So essentially we replaced all the vacuum lines on this thing. And after doing that, this thing ran a lot better.
Oh yeah, because it ran like garbage before.
Falling down the driveway.
Yeah, it ran like garbage before, and we replaced a few vacuum lines. Couldn't find the problem, so you know what? Ordered a full kit, replaced every single line, replaced the turbo. That was one of the first things we did on this car.
That's true. The turbo was... What was the reason for that?
It had a lot of shaft play, and when we hooked up the boost gauge, we weren't really getting any boost reading from it.
Mm-hmm.
So we know the boost gauge was working because it's a brand new boost gauge. So we're like, okay, we're not actually building any boost because the turbo was completely shot.
Right. Yeah, so we replaced that with the stock CT26. We replaced all the intercooler piping. That came in the same kit as all of the vacuum hoses. One of the first things that we had to do, I think, was fix the wiring for the cam position sensor. We'd done a clutch in the thing. We actually when we first bought this car, it had the transmission was in the back seat and it needed a new clutch. So that was the first thing we did. That was a big job, but one of our first big jobs, but we got her done.
Back when it still ran.
Yeah, good times. So here is our quick little dirty side exit exhaust. It's nothing much to look at, but from out here, that's where all the fun is. Oh yeah, can't forget to mention this. This used to be a sticker bomb panel. Now it just looks like garbage because every sticker is pretty much faded away.
Faded and peeled. Yeah.
Yep.
You get what you pay for on Wish, I guess.
What else?
Intercooler sprayers, man.
So we don't actually know if these still work, but one of the fancy things that we installed that we thought was worth the time was intercooler sprayers. We actually rerouted the rear wiper reservoir, or was
these two?
It was the headlight sprayers, yeah.
Yeah, so we got these headlight sprayers, which we rerouted. So now there's a nozzle pointed at the intercooler. So we just fill up the washer fluid reservoir with water, and then when we do the headlight sprayer button, it actually sprays the intercooler, because we figured we'd be drifting this thing hard.
Oh yeah.
Building up too much heat, we need to cool that down. I think we did a rad sprayer too, did we not?
Yep, I think one of the rear window sprayer went to one of them, and then the headlight sprayers went to the other.
Yeah.
So I think they both work.
We could still keep the washer fluid up front, but I guess it looks like we eliminated that. There's no hoses.
Well, I'm curious if it still works, Matt. Do we have fluid in the tank?
Washer fluid only, but we're gonna put water in there. No, she dry.
Can we fill her up?
Yeah.
All right, so down here, you can see the intercooler sprayers kind of working. So they don't do a great job, but they're spritzing. Yeah, they're spritzing.
So you can tell that works. I can't find the control for the rad sprayer, but I think it was the headlight sprayer, and we can't find that button right now. It's been too long since we used them. Oh, that's about all, hey?
Yep. Oh, we cut the springs to lower it.
We cut it, yep. That's so it's nice and slammed. Unlowered cut springs, which is not ideal, but that's the way it is. So yeah, that is our Supra, and we are selling it. Well, that is pretty much it. We're kind of sad to be getting rid of this car because, I mean, it's a Supra with a straight six turbo, rear wheel drive, 5-speed manual. It's just got all the right things, but at the same time, it has all the wrong things because it's a late 80s.
Always broken.
It's a late 80s turbo, and it is always broken. So while we're kind of bummed to be getting rid of it, we're also excited that we're going to be able to have some extra room and some extra time to put towards our other cars. And we've got the CRX, Furious Civic, and actually those are the only two projects that we have right now together. And then you have Frankenstein and I have Sylvia. So yeah, we could have a lot more time to put towards the other cars if we do when we do get rid of this thing. So I think that's it for this video. It's a sad one. Wish we could show you guys some burnouts, but That's just the way this thing
That's
is.
the Supra for you.
Yep. It gives and it takes. It takes more than it gives, so we're going to give it away. In exchange for some money, of course.
Yes.
All right, thanks for sticking around. We'll see you guys in the next video.